Hi, and welcome to Mommy Diaries. Mommy Diaries, we talk about parenting, pregnancy, and all things that has to do with our beautiful kids. Kagiso is my first. You're actually the first guy I ever interviewed on Mommy Diaries.
And are we going to talk about pregnancy with me?
Yeah, we're going to talk about pregnancy. Like, you know it, Mus. You've
Yeah.
3 kids. You know what pregnancy is.
I do.
Yeah.
And you know, here's the thing is that people actually think that only women can talk about pregnancy. But as men, when my wife is pregnant, I'm pregnant with her.
Yes.
And when she's giving birth,
You are giving birth.
I am giving birth with her.
Yeah.
There's some anxiety that she's going through. There's a lot of anxiety that I'm going through, even in that delivery room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I didn't even finish to introduce you.
It's okay. I mean, I'm famous.
Kagiso Modupe. He is a producer. He's famous. He's a father.
Yeah.
He's a brother.
Most of all, ke autia kukas. Yeah.
Kagiso, how are you?
I'm like Sunday morning. How are you?
I'm good.
Yeah.
I haven't seen you in a while.
In a long while.
Yeah.
In a long while. I mean,
Yeah.
the last time I saw you, we were just finished shooting our film.
Yes.
Which is coming out.
Yes.
Yeah.
When?
Well, it's coming out.
What's the name of the film?
It's called Losing Lerato 2. Yeah.
I was on the first one.
You were on the first
I
one.
definitely had to be on the second one.
Yeah, well, what could I do?
It is what it is. Okay, so let's talk about your childhood. Because every time I interview people, I always want to know about, I know where you're from.
Yeah.
You've spoken about it a lot.
Yeah.
But for someone who doesn't know, who is Kagiso?
I know where you from.
Where?
Utsoko Blomanda. What is that? Rockville, Kangai, Rocklands. Yeah.
So who's Kagiso?
Ke Kagiso, you
Local
know.
guy.
Ke ntwana ya ko Tema, born and bred. You know, to go back to your question in terms of my childhood, I had a fantastic one.
Wow.
I was poor but happy.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And that's the one thing that I cherish. It built character. I was that guy with the Mbobo Mokausu, but I had a lot of fun. I had an amazing upbringing. My parents were amazing. They were super amazing. I learned so much from them, both my mother and my father. You know, I was an active child. I did a lot of sports. I was those kids that thrived through their teenage years through sports. You know, coach. You know what I mean?
Yes,
you know what I mean. Yeah, I had an amazing childhood. I did a lot of sports: karate, soccer, ballroom dancing. I was in theater groups. You know, I had a lot of fun.
You did, yeah. And you spoke about having both parents,
Yeah.
well, which is different from me. I didn't. Lena was poor and happy, but
Yeah.
I didn't have. I think poor was my mom will have to worry about that.
Yeah.
So how was it like growing up with both parents, and how has it shaped you now? Because you are a family man and you're still married and you have kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I learned so much from the timer. There's so many lessons that I still need to do a film about.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, most of the lessons from my dad, I embedded them into Ingoma. You know, the song with
the
the
movie.
late Pasi. Yeah. You know, and I learned a lot of lessons from my mother. So the balance was so great because I'm able to be in touch with the technical side of things when you're a dad, because that's one thing that you need to kind of look at.
What are the technical stuff?
When you're a
provider?
husband? Yeah. And the emotional stuff from my mother. You know, I'll tell you one thing that as a father and a husband, I learned from my dad, which is the technicalities of it. A very interesting story and a quick one. And Castrata say versus the street. And you know, when we win, Renali Cheleterico Pansiteng, then Rekadi Chips Raja.
Yeah.
And you know, as the boys are sitting there, Fetsorekadi Chips, Dinali Erika, Dinali Ing, and I was about to eat, and my dad calls me. And I know Hor Hanka Tsamai. Batlo fetsa. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm like, Papa, and he says, okay, grab your piece and then come to me. I grabbed my piece, and Haki fitla ko yena, you know, he said, oh, very nice, well done, oberekile. And I went, I said, When we got home, and Dinyan called my mom, my brother, and my sister, and we all sat down and we had to eat that piece. The lesson behind it, and he said to me, Munna goes out to hunt.
Yeah.
And then he comes home to feed the family.
The family.
And ever since, I've always known I need to go and work for my family. Those are some of the, there's so many lessons.
Of course, yeah.
You know, for my mom, Pulayana, and she's actually the one who's at fault because I'm sitting there outside yana. And then when she gets there, I'm hoping what she's gonna say, oh Manaka,
oh my baby.
She gives me a hiding. I'm blind.
Yeah,
and she said to me, Udutimo, kiole mnyakoko next door, kiole mnyakoko opposite.
Yes.
Why can't you go and ulo kopa again? The lesson behind it was when you have a problem, speak. And it doesn't matter whether that person laughs or that person criticizes you, but Ntwedu would have been out. You see, there's a lot. I could talk about a lot. Yeah.
But now things obviously have changed.
Who changed?
I get things have changed.
Hey, I could put a well in now.
Hey, things have changed. I mean, what you're saying is not happening anymore now. It's not happening anymore now.
Yeah.
Bakasi go next door or the other door to go ask for help like how we used to, because things have changed. Even where we are now, the environment that we are now raising our kids, kiddy stop nonsense, so you don't even know your neighbor.
Yeah.
Because things have changed. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
But now it's not the same anymore, which is sad because things have changed.
I think we shouldn't say things have changed. We should say people have changed.
Okay.
Because I live in a suburb with high walls. But every time there's a neighbor that moves in,
Why?
I literally go to I buy a cake from, I can't say the shop, and get welcome to the neighborhood. If there's anything you need, kida, kida. I'm not doing this because papa or I'm a nosy neighbor. I'm actually saying we're gonna live together.
Community.
Yeah. And one day my child would be in trouble.
Absolutely.
And it's that neighbor that's gonna come. It's the same thing, same concept. You know what I mean?
So how did you become an actor?
No.
Go Brixton.
No.
Nna Kagiso ke tlhotlho ke mmona ko Brixton e le mangi a itoga backline. Okay, now UJ.
You know, you and I always talk about how we hate these questions about. So
No, I want to know. I just
what do you want to know? You know.
I know, but I want them to know. I get it now. I'm trying to connect everything together. Now you're a producer.
Okay, sorry. How did I become an actor?
In a very, very short.
You know what? I realized that something that is a hobby can turn into your way of life.
Yeah.
And that's how I became an actor. You know, something in a kid, it's like it's hameka, and that's why I encourage my kids as a father. To guide me. And for me, I will just look at the dangers of it. But I sit there with my kids and I allow them to be themselves, because then this thing that she wants to do now could end up being her way of life. And I got into it. I was starving, hungry in tertiary. I was the guy that was sending money home and not the other way around. And I mean, everybody knows I used to sell the dog sweet and all of that, and I had these nicknames, to pay for my fees, and the morning after pills. You know, I don't want to dwell too much into that. But I did, you know, and this was for me to be able to pay for my tertiary institution, which is another thing that I learned from my dad, you know, to not feel sorry for myself. Because a lot of people are sitting out there going, mana nefsasi, Look, if you're not going to get up and do it on your own. So I did what I needed to do. And then there's a song and dance company, Rao Song and Dance Company, which is UJ Dance Company now. And they needed men. It was more of like it's theater productions, but a lot of guys were not joining. And I joined in for money.
Okay.
And we did, it was Sophia Town, and we did District 6, and there were agents in the audience. And after the show, I got called in by my director, which was Zane Mias then, And he was like, hey, there's people that want to talk to you. And that was it. I went to Stefina Zwane, who played a major role in really advising me throughout this industry.
Yeah.
And she helped me out. Take this one, don't take this one. Lucky enough, we end up on the same show.
Yeah.
So I get to learn a lot from her as well about the game. Yeah.
And then being a father, have you always wanted to be a father?
Yeah.
Ah.
There's no ways I was going to be here, live, and then be out without having to be a father. I love being a father. I love being a husband.
Have you like
Yeah.
some people be like, I don't want to have children.
No, I wasn't that guy. I was
You always wanted to be married.
I wanted to be married. I wanted to have children, and I knew I wanted to have 3 kids, if not more. I love the idea of family because I grew up in such a supportive family. Yeah.
Firstborn.
Yeah.
Take us through it.
Who?
Firstborn.
Oh, okay. I thought you were like, I'm firstborn. No, I'm not. I'm the middle child.
You're firstborn. Like you being a first-time dad.
Yeah.
Getting married. Your firstborn. How was it? How was it? I mean, take us through the journey of you now being a first-time dad.
My kids, man, they're just amazing people. My kids they're just something else, man. All of them. So anyways, Timolo, Kagiso Modupe, she's the beginning of life for me. What an amazing soul.
Yeah.
That one is boss, man.
Yeah.
That kid has such a kind heart. She's giving. She reminds me more of my mother. Do you know what I mean? When I see her, I just see the spirit of my mother. Where this is somebody who is so compassionate. She doesn't want to see others go through. And it's not like something that I embedded in her.
Yeah.
No, it's just who she is.
Yeah.
So the fondest memory about Timolo was, there's many. Go crash. We took her to crash. And the teachers were complaining that she doesn't sleep until all the girls have slept. And then she will sleep. But she watches out for others, Bashapuna.
Yeah.
And maybe she's picked up something or ink, but that's who she is. I mean, we also have had our fondest memories of her, where she'd go to my mother-in-law and say, Dodo, Daddy and Mommy kiss like this.
Yeah.
God rest her soul, my mother-in-law. But that's who Timolo is. Yeah.
And then that year when she was born.
Oh, yeah. 2010.
2010. And what
When Philip was here.
When Philip was here, when you were busy.
I was going through cravings like nobody's business because we're sitting at Bryce, Ling.
Yeah.
I was craving jungle oats.
Yeah. And the importance of, like you spoke about how sometimes we think a pregnancy is just about women because the woman is the one carrying the baby. But what advice would you give to men? Let's say, for example, a guy now, the girlfriend is pregnant or the wife is pregnant.
Yeah.
But especially like our black brothers. And they don't want to be part of the journey. Tell me how you've seen with your own experience on how what it did to your wife, how you were there, being supportive physically, emotionally, financially. Obviously, it's a given.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, that importance of
financially is a given.
Yeah.
50-50.
How important it is for a man to be there, because you find sometimes, especially like,
man, Pasi, we can't go back to, and this is why people grow up with a lot of daddy issues, or a lot of men were really not attached to Bana.
But they there.
Yeah.
I understand that some men are there, but they're not there.
Yeah. But I'm saying that's why the majority, right? And I'm an advocate for men, and there's certain things that I need to be truthful about.
Yeah.
That's why even in our generation, the fathers would be just give money if he's there. If he's not there, then it's also, one of those things. So the reason why you have that is because they were never allowed to go into the delivery room.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
There is something about a child being born. I'm going to touch on something else. My mind is running. So you said advice. Let me talk about the advice first. My advice would be you need to be there.
Yeah.
You need to go through everything. Don't see her complaining or her cravings or her demands. Don't see it as something ehotenang, but see it as a journey that you're building together.
Yeah.
Because the complaints, the ain't your wife, actually bring you closer together and closer to your child. Don't miss being in that delivery room.
Yeah.
There is something about when a child is born and it happens so quick. It's whoop, whoop, here, whoop. They give you the kid. You are there, you are cutting. Whoop, whoop,
Kagiso, that was in labor for hours, my brother. No,
yeah.
whoop, whoop.
And even in that, and I'll talk about, how Timolo was born. Leon, it was hours.
Yeah.
And having to see your wife go through those labor pains. I mean, there were blinds there. Kitty blinds. But she would it's a matter of life and death in there.
It is.
And if you go through that moment with your wife, it ties you guys together.
Yeah.
And if you think it's just about you, if you guys are together, it influences how these kids are going to be raised. Do you see what I'm saying?
I see.
You gotta be committed.
Yeah.
We were talking about the delivery room. And my mind just went.
Yeah.
In the delivery room, no, it's gone. It's gone.
What you were gonna say?
It was something about
something serious.
I'm serious. Yeah.
Something serious.
Yeah. It was about being in the delivery room. You
were saying there's something about being in the delivery room.
Something about being in the delivery room that just brings you guys together. It will come back.
The thought that went away.
Yeah. But we go through labor too. That's why my wife can't say to me, "Ngimthwele 9 months lo mntwana." I also did.
How?
Through the processes of being there. There's certain things that I go through. There's certain stresses that I go through.
Of course. Yeah.
And Liana, as she's going through her stresses, I'm also going through what's going to happen. Preparations for this, and also having to be very supportive with her. Oh, perfect. I got it. And this is about being a husband.
Okay.
After your wife gives birth, right? For us men, how we view you it's not how you view yourself, and that's what we tend to miss.
Okay, how do you view
that
us?
Stretch mark? You would be worried about the stretch marks and all of that. For me, that stretch mark is mine. That stretch mark is my child. That stretch mark is scars that say that you and I brought this beautiful thing together.
Yeah.
And that's how we see it as men.
Yeah.
But then what women tend to do is, and they start teaching us to see it as a negative.
Yeah.
It's not a negative. They start saying, I go snacks, or I'm uncomfortable, whenever we have to be intimate, or leave that thing.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. For me, it's so much pride. And the more you drill it into my head that stretch maksami in yami, and you comparing yourself with someone who's younger, someone who's never had children,
a child, or someone who went for a BBL,
yeah. You are literally teaching me to hate those stretch marks. They are so sexy. Le hadir dir
thunder thighs.
Exactly. So my advice would be, as now a husband, right? As much as I'm a father, but as a husband,
embrace those changes.
Embrace your body, because you are teaching me to embrace it too.
Yeah. Because most of the time, those insecurities as women,
Yeah.
ke taba tsa hore, oh my God, I don't want my men to see me like this. If
want.
Nele seko, we would be fine with them. But sometimes I
want.
feel like as women, we do these things not just for ourselves, but for you guys. Where I don't think my man
Yeah.
would appreciate if like I have stretch marks, especially when I didn't have
Yeah.
before the baby.
Yeah.
Because your body changes.
I was there.
You saw.
I saw.
Hey.
Yeah. I was there. I went through it. So that's why I'm saying that stretch mark is my stretch mark.
So for couples who would say things changed after the baby came,
You changed them because you didn't communicate. People always talk about communication in marriage.
Yeah.
Talk to me.
Yeah.
That's why you said you're going to spend the rest of your life with me. Talk to me. It's not, okay, maybe people are just worried about tone.
Yeah.
It's not what you say, it's how you say it. What's wrong with me saying that, listen, I'm uncomfortable now because of, or how do you feel about my stretch mark? Or do you think, Kore, now that I've given birth, I am not as tight? Talk about it. But what people tend to do is that they take the easy way out. They start creating things in their minds. And then they assume that that's what you as a husband are feeling.
Yeah.
And then they bring the insecurities from social media, from what they see, from the outside world, from what they hear, and then they bring it into the marriage.
Yeah.
Hold on. You're not married to social media.
No.
You're not married to the outside world. You're married to me. Ask me.
What are some of the qualities that you feel like, like sometimes I see it with myself.
Yeah.
I would find myself talking to Nema how my mom used to talk to me. There are certain things that I've taken.
Yeah.
Kisa boni, not kamabomu. Like there's some things I was very clear about, or I really want to be like my mom in certain things.
Yeah.
But some things I'll just find myself shouta like my mom. So are you like your dad, or what kind of a father are you? Are you strict?
I'm like my dad.
Do your kids come to you first or mommy first?
They come to me.
Yeah.
They come to me. They come to me with a lot of stuff. My kids trust me. Not to say that they don't trust their mother.
Yeah.
But, I'll speak on my behalf because there's certain secrets that they'll share with mom.
Of course.
But either way, they will end up with me.
Yeah.
So there's nothing wrong with being like your dad. There's nothing wrong with that.
As a man?
As a man.
Okay.
You are his seed. There are certain things and traits that you will have because behavior is learned, right? But you have to find a way to also be so logically inclined to see what is it that you'd like to leave behind. So as you're saying, Orwena, you find yourself shouting like your mother. So you need to kind of go, is it okay? Is it not? What has it done for me? Has it shaped me? Has it not? Okay, if I feel like this wasn't cool, then maybe I need to leave that behind, but find something that's going to replace. Because then there's a reason why your mom was shouting like that. She wasn't shouting out of hate.
No.
Yeah. Sometimes bana need to have a shake-up.
100%.
For me, it's drugs. So I am that dad that just walks around the house randomly and I'll go, I give the drugs, I have so much hatred. It's so passionate against drugs.
Yeah.
I do. And I just
so,
feel like,
out of no
yeah, your kids must know that there's certain things that they can do, but there's the one thing.
If they do it, it's over.
This one.
Yeah.
This one is the end. Like maybe bakan thola ki
What was that?
Or kids mara. Drugs.
What was that with your parents? Like that one thing that you knew.
It was, our parents, Ronald wasn't, there were drugs.
Yeah.
But it was,
and stuff. My mom hated sex so much. Like she would, I remember
people take clips, right? The smaller clips, and they're going to take a clip that you says, my mother hated sex so much.
No.
Yeah.
So I get it. I mean, I get how when you are a mother to a girl and
Yeah.
there's no father, she's the only one I'm talking to
Yeah.
about everything.
Yeah.
So she had this, and like, okay, what's my mother came profeta.
Yeah.
So she had this
Yeah.
thing where
Susan.
I didn't know whether is this the moporofeta talking or
Yeah.
is this my mom talking.
Yeah.
So she'll be like, how o ka etsa thobalano?
Yeah.
Ke tlo bona ka matsogo.
Yeah.
Ke tlo bona ka mangwele.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, how are you gonna see my knees?
Yeah.
You know, it's like and every randomly felt like I feel like there's this other time where I had allergies.
Yeah.
So go doctor Bampadi allergics.
Yeah.
So I think she didn't read who the allergics, they make you drowsy.
Yeah.
Did I not sleep every day, even in
Yeah.
class?
Yeah.
I'm not diagnosed.
Yeah. Arumili.
So I knew every time the whole thing of being pregnant,
Yeah.
she would just randomly say Tobalano.
Yeah. I think I'm also like that.
Yeah.
Do you know? I'm like that. I'm like, look, don't fall pregnant now.
Yeah.
But it's the drugs, number one.
Number
That's
one.
the ultimate.
Yeah.
But don't fall pregnant now.
Yeah.
And I look forward to being a grandfather. And this is how I speak with my kids. I'm like, listen, I look forward to the day you guys make me a grandfather. I look forward to it. And that's what I pray for, actually, every night. I pray to get to the ages of 80.
Yeah.
Because I would really like to experience what it would be like being a grandfather. But not now.
Yeah, of course.
You know, you gotta live your life. You gotta travel. You gotta do this. You gotta do this. You know, enjoy it. And then I will even say,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the same thing that you probably went through,
Yeah.
where your mother was like, but at some
Yeah.
point in her life, she's like, Hanti,
knew.
bana batlaning.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because then that was the right time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now being a dad to 3 kids.
Yeah.
We recently had a
Dola.
son.
Kagiso ya ba kwena,
Ah,
son.
wena ba kena wena. Kusele mina.
Yeah. When are you having another baby? Or you don't know how to make babies?
I know how to ruin love.
Yeah, you know how to ruin love. Oh man.
Being a dad
Being a dad.
to 3 kids.
Yeah.
So now, obviously, I'm a mom to 1 child, so I don't know like the dynamics, and also I respect people who have more than 1 child. Now, I'm saying this because I see it her fila at Lego Nema.
Yeah.
And now I have to be a mother to 2. Like, oh,
Yeah.
attention, how do you do it? Like, especially because I know you are hands on. How do you do it? How do you make sure that, because it's 3 different people with 3 different personalities.
I'll tell you, a typical Saturday that happened, especially with sports now.
Okay, cool.
I was going to, and all of them were playing. And
Are they in
it
the
was,
same school?
Yeah,
As
yeah, yeah.
Mateo le Tsimolo?
Yeah, Mateo, Mateo of Tlhale.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, that kid.
Yeah. Mara ka ke mamnganenyana ne?
She's the life of the house.
Really?
Yeah.
Is she you?
She's me. All my kids are me, Sorry, mom. But they are. And she always says, my wife always says, but anyways, I was talking about a typical Saturday.
Yeah.
A typical Saturday that happened was I was literally driving from this school for Moteo's game and then drive to the other school, and lucky enough they were close, to watch Tsimolo's game, and it was literally like an all-day tournament, kamo le kamo, and you have to find a way to make time.
Show up.
So as a dad,
Yeah.
you can't be tired. You're not allowed to be tired. Because when you are tired, that's when you are creating gaps.
Yeah.
And in the gaps, the devil plays. Even in marriage, in the gaps, the devil plays. So you are not allowed to be tired.
Yeah.
And we tend to make these excuses and go, oh, I'm tired, man, I'm tired. And sometimes we even cry to our partners, I'm tired. So what? So what? You're not allowed to be tired when you're a parent. get up and just do it.
Show up.
You know, you and I were go scandal. Remember, you know, I even went to the point of, I said, here's my schedule, Sabana, for their extramural activities. Please start deducting money. Rather.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to miss that game.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to. And you find that then producers want to be smart and they say, yeah, okay, we're minusing their money. And I went to take.
Fine. Yeah.
Take.
Yeah.
Because, Pasi, the most joyful thing about being a father is the opportunity to be recorded in your kids' memories.
100%.
I always strive to be recorded.
Yeah.
Because when Moteo gets up on that stage, she
looks
looks
for
for
you.
me.
Yeah.
She looks for me.
Yeah.
And the five senses are recording.
Yes.
Her eyes, you know, her ears. When
Yeah.
I go, when she gets on stage, she waits for that you know, how she feels at that moment, and that's why Kiri, never miss an opportunity to be recorded in your kids' memories, good or bad. Timolo having a first period. In her world, that is like what's going on? It's terrifying.
Yeah.
But I was recorded
You were there.
to be the guy that calms it down, to be the guy that sits with her and okay, I'm wearing my boxes and I get my other boxes and then say, this is how you wear a pad, or this is how I'm recorded. Yeah.
And because you are there, like you're saying, and you're showing up, they're gonna grow up not like, for some of us, some of the things we lend them kadi boyfriends.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Nonsense.
Well, you know what I mean?
See what I'm saying?
I'm just saying, growing up without a dad.
Yeah.
And then when you grow older, you meet a guy who's gonna teach you how to drive.
Simolo drives. I taught her to
You
drive.
taught her how to drive.
Yeah.
Now, go to restaurant thing, re di bone ka di boyfriend there.
First date.
Your first date at Simulo,
I was there.
Yeah.
I took her on a date. Literally, she dressed up, and I remember I was still building, you know, my house.
Yeah, there we go.
Nowadays, I don't care.
Yeah.
So, anyways, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I'm so locked up in here.
Excuse.
So, I took her on a date,
Yeah.
and it was our house was still being built. I went up and I put a table there, roses, everything, and we set up just the two of us up there. Do you know what I mean? Moteo the same. I took her on a first date. Yeah.
Well, I never had that.
Yeah.
I never had that.
But it
and that's
doesn't
why I'm
mean-
saying, even with parents who are raising kids, but they're not together, it's still as important.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When every time I see Nema, because I'm like, you are so blessed and lucky to have someone who shows up like your dad does, because
Yeah.
I never had that.
Yeah.
And I think also for women who...
Yeah, that guy's a good guy anyways.
Yeah. For women who...
Yeah, that guy's a good guy anyways.
Yeah, he is. For women
Yeah.
who... what's the word? Who try to get in the way because of how their partner, trying to get in the way of that relationship with their dad, it becomes a problem.
That's what losing Lerato was about.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
One. I don't know about two.
Yeah, I don't know about two. I was not there.
Yeah.
It was where,
Yeah.
like, you shouldn't get in the way, especially when the father wants to be part of the child's life.
Yeah.
Because you see, I saw what it did to me. Not that my mom was in the way, but like it was just so horrible. I had daddy issues my whole life, and I don't want that for my.
But can I tell you something? How you were raised, right? It was amazing,
How?
right? And so, I don't know, maybe I'll get hammered for this, but I mean, I'm not scared of anything. Let him go.
Who?
If he's not there, let him go.
Yeah.
Stop going and chasing court maintenance, this, maintenance, that.
Oh, I hear you.
It doesn't take maintenance to raise a kid.
It doesn't.
It takes you to raise a kid. And we think that our children don't see the struggles. They do. You are a testament of that.
Yeah.
You saw the struggles of your mother. You
Yeah.
saw, and that's why till today you and your mother are so close.
Yeah.
Focus on raising this kid.
Yeah.
But don't waste your energy, because raising a kid takes so much energy. And you are wasting that energy going to court, going to this, going to that. And sometimes you find that it's actually not even about the kid. It's about you, because ubatlolaya, that guy. Let him be. You want to see your kid? Come see your kid. But kids, they're human beings.
Yeah.
We forget that.
Yeah. It is Father's Day month.
Yeah.
Father's Day. Happy Father's Day, Kagiso. Go get the coffee.
A proud father.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now I guess we always see on social media the single mothers, not the single mothers, the kids will be like, Happy Father's Day to my mom, who was mom, dad, and everything. But we sometimes...
What we just spoke about.
The
kids are not stupid.
Yeah. But I think we sometimes forget about fathers like you.
Yeah.
Who are hands-on.
Yeah.
Who are there in every way, who show up. What does Father's Day, or not Father's Day, mean to you, but what does Father's Month mean to you? Does it mean anything, or it's every day?
I've said this before. I don't need my children to tell me I'm a good father, because I know I am.
Yeah.
I don't need my wife to tell me I'm a good husband, because I know I am. On a daily, I strive to become a good husband, to be a good dad. And not to say that I don't celebrate what they do.
Yeah.
But when they come with gifts, when they come with the paintings from school, that is the cherry on top. When my wife throws a surprise thing for me or appreciates me, that's the cherry on top. And that's what we as men need to be so clear on in our roles, in what it takes to be a father, what it takes to be a husband, what it takes to build a black family. And if you strive for that, it encompasses everything that you do, even with work, even with friendships, even with relationships, even with you being able to see nonsense from there. You have to be aware. So Father's Month, what it means to me is a reminder of how we need to first celebrate ourselves as fathers, and then scrutinize ourselves as to, are we really committed as fathers? Are we really going out there to be fathers? And if we are not, then we need to find ways in how we rectify being a father. Yeah. Man, I mean, what can I say? I went to the good schools.
Okay,
you know?
whatever. But now let's talk about the challenges.
Yeah.
Because with good, there's good and there's challenges as well. The challenges, number one, we always hear that men don't talk, number one.
Yeah.
I think they said June is a month of what when it comes to...
They also now said that June month is also mental health.
Mental health for men, right?
Yeah, I like that. But I was like, why do you have to take it away from us? We only have 1 month. Now you want to add...
Thank you, Father's Day. You don't get mental health.
Yeah,
mental
but
health.
just specifically on father, because I was youth not so long ago.
I was a youth pap.
I know.
So mental health, like... men go through a lot.
I didn't want to talk about it now.
No,
because I feel like you guys are stealing it away from us.
No, but it's
we
important.
didn't come in Mother's Month in May and then edit woman period day or Women's Mental Health Month within that. Why? Who edited this thing?
I don't know who did.
Leave us alone. Like, make it in October or something, you know?
August.
Women's Month. Give us something, you know?
But it is so important because I see a lot of these conversations about men not talking.
Yeah.
And now, as a father, as a husband,
Yeah.
there are challenges. I'm sure for example, in the industry we're in, we can make an example of you as a provider. Some months, some months people do have money, some months people don't have money. Or there's a father out there. It's something on my teeth. I know you what do you think?
Yeah, Sesh.
There's
X times X is equals to X. Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes men go through a lot, especially when they can't provide for their families.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that's the only thing that that affects men's minds or
this podcast will take long if you and I go into that.
No, I just want to touch on it because
I want to touch on it.
There are fathers who really are there for their kids. But ha hona le send their school fees.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean that he's not a good father.
No, doesn't mean that you're not the man
Such
of the house.
things happen. But yes.
Yeah.
But there are also women who will make you feel like.
Yeah. Then you're not with the right woman. It's just like that.
Yeah.
When you are a leader, what makes you a leader is the people who are around you.
Yeah.
I know personally that I've got somebody. My wife is my pillar because she stood by me through all the decisions that I had made that probably even compromised or looked like they were compromising the family. But she trusted that I needed to. It wasn't Kagiso Wile. Personally, it's Kagiso. Because that's what I've learned from my dad. That Munna Hawi, he does a safe landing so that he can refuel and then go to the moon.
Yeah.
I was at the peak. I was in the sky with all the other planes. But I knew as that plane that was there, I needed to go to the moon. And I needed to go and do a safe landing so that I can refuel and go to the moon. So if you don't have somebody next to you that will trust that, then you're in problems, right? But anyways, to go back to, let's talk about manhood. When you are a leader, you're the head of the house. But leadership also comes with humility. Sometimes you need to humble yourself because that's where you learn how to be a better leader. If you lose your job and your wife is the one that provides, it does not take anything away from you. Instead, what you do as a man is you swap the roles. You become the guy that cleans. You become the guy that cooks. You become the guy who tlapisang bana to go to school. And you will see how much connection you'll even have with your children. There's a lot of men who don't realize that bathing your kids is such a connection moment.
Yeah, like how we breastfeed.
Exactly. Do you see what I'm saying? Now, if you want to just be the man, you're missing out. Because Chiefs and Pirates, it won't give you that connection with your children. None of those players even know your name. Do you get what I'm saying? So we should go back to my issue, to my point. Never miss a moment to be recorded in your children's lives. So going back to mental health is that allow yourself to be humble enough, because that's where you get to learn more as a man. On the other hand, you also mentioned something about men do not talk. Because men do not talk not because they keeping things to themselves. Men do not talk because they are scared. If we want to express ourselves, there's so many groups out there on social media who are feminist groups who are waiting for you to say the wrong thing. And which now affects us as men who are in the in the industry because we are the ones who have a bigger voice. We appeal to over 20 million people every night. I should be the guy who actually comes out and express how a man feels genuinely without him being chopped down. We are supposed to be able to be calling these men's forums because if Kagiso calls a men's forum, they will come and sit. But if Kagiso does not have a voice or he always has to say the right thing for the public, it's not solving the problem. Yet the questions are out there. What is wrong with men? What is wrong with men? We are trying to come out, but we are scared to actually express the feelings of a man because then we're going to get chopped down. What do? Men do not talk because men have been silenced. And that's why they go and talk in their little corners.
Lady side chic.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Because then when that guy's sitting there with the side chick, he's able to kind of
be
express himself, right? But then you see what I was talking about, the gaps. Because then when he goes and expresses himself with a side chick, now he's created a problem on top of a problem because then he's allowed the devil to hear about the problems that are happening in his home.
Yeah. And
then that devil's going to take this and use it to their advantage to mess up that black family.
What's her?
Rekas fades.
Rekas
fades because, and that's why those are the truths that need to happen. We need to understand that a family is not built by a man. A family is built by a man and a woman.
Yeah.
That's why when you're building it as a man only, banaba how about Happy Mother's Day, Happy Father's Day. If you're building it as a woman only, but Happy Mother's Day, Happy Father's Day.
Yeah.
Because kids acknowledge the other part that you play.
That is so true. Stop being scared about thing.
Allow us. But you know, I'm at that age now. I'm so enjoying, the one thing I'm enjoying about my 40s is being able to speak my truth.
Yeah.
I was like, all these years, where has this thing been?
Yeah.
You know, I'm able to just speak my truth.
Yeah. Yeah, that's growing up. I don't know why, but what's about hola? Because the older you get, it comes with so much wisdom and howsa foka.
Yeah, you know what I mean? That's what it is. And in learning that, I've also learned, being able to express myself freely. I've also learned to be able to apologize.
Okay.
When you've offended someone.
Yeah.
And to kind of even be in a position to explain where it came from. Without being afraid of explaining where it came from. Those are the joys of being a father.
And now you have a son.
I have a son, man.
Let's talk about your son.
Babaloya vakwena. Babaloya vakwena. Modupe. Yeah.
You have a son.
I have a son,
Have
man.
you always wanted a son? Because now I've always seen you as a girl, a dad, two girls.
Yeah. I raised my little sister, so for me, I found it easier to kind of relate to girls. And so, but it does change you because once you find out, oh my goodness, it's a boy.
Yeah.
It doesn't take away from the girls.
Yeah.
But it just gives me an opportunity to interact with somebody who is like me.
Yeah.
It gives me an opportunity to, because I was raising Timolo and Moteo as boys, to impart something onto this boy. And the first thing is no drugs. I will kill him myself. I've lost so many friends on drugs. It pains me to also see some of the people that I started with in the industry who were even greater than me because of, and I was there.
Because of one line.
Of when they
started.
When they started. When they took that line. I didn't even know, this is where it was going to lead to. You know?
Yeah.
And they're gone. It's not nice having to lose friends.
Drugs.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I've seen how they can also just take something that was so beautiful, even a family. I've had friends who were on drugs who were running beautiful families, and their families are gone. They're gone. And their kids now, you can't even try and go in to save the day because there's so much lines that then you'd be crossing, and you're just trying to avoid looking like you want to stumble. You get what I'm saying, though? Because that's the thing. For me, this is the kind of person I am. Your kids, if you introduce me to your kids, they're my kids. But the reality of it is that it's so difficult to even cross that line once you're gone without having, because of what society looks like now, without having to look like, hey, what look and I'm so tricky.
And now, speaking about social media, like, would you allow, you post your kids, you're free about posting whatever you want to post about your kids. Does Simolo have her own social media?
Yeah, Mateo also has her own social media.
You guys manage it, or?
Yeah, mom manages Mateo, but Simolo manages her own because she needs to learn. We can't keep them caged. She has to learn. Yes, obviously with guidance and with advice, be careful of, and we monitor obviously behind the scenes. But you can't keep your kids bottled up. There's one thing that you need to realize, and I think a lot of people don't see it. The minute Otswako TV, they don't realize the influence that they have. Some people who are social kind of role models don't realize the power that they have to change a narrative. For me, I am pushing the narrative of a black, strong family. Not that family doesn't have its ups and downs.
Of course, yeah.
But we have to even show the ups and downs so that if you come out victorious out of that, somebody is watching and going, yo, after this, and they still, and after this, they still, why can't I do it? So I choose to use my power of fame in a positive way. I can go and hide my entire family and have these private moments, but it's what is it for? My parents told me, and I saw that from them. They said, I want to tell you that in this family, you guys don't belong to us. We don't belong to you. We actually belong to life.
Yeah.
And that's why I say I'm inspired by life. My parents were people that would help everybody. I had to sleep with strangers sometimes because I go, but I who's saying that person's gone. That's how I want to raise my kids. So I get having nix. I'm not scared of social media. I'm not scared of who will say what they will say. I don't have fear in that. No.
And then two last things. One.
Why is it two last things? We're still chatting. You can't call me and then pese wangu.
Okay, one.
Yeah.
What would you like your kids to remember you with? I get when you are dead, ne? I get when you are dead, like just in jail, like haba ukilabana like noyana. My mom is still alive.
Yeah.
But haki wakayene, I know that one thing ekimuhopolang kayon o kimonaganan kayon is how she used to pray for us.
Yeah.
Like she would like at 3 o'clock and and I mention a one by one. And I do that now because I feel like if it wasn't for those prayers, I don't think I would be here.
Yeah.
And that's one thing. So I'm just saying, like, how somewhere, let's say they interviewed somewhere.
Yeah.
Like, what would you like to hear? Or
I've heard it. So
okay, tell me.
Before, it's similar. Well, similar sitting with mom there and like, what do you like about that? We are not that family that says, how was school?
Is it
Like, how was school? We want to go into
but I do that.
Yeah.
How was school?
How was school is such a generic answer. You will never get like good.
Yeah, but look good.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, good.
But if you go into asking questions about what was your favorite thing at school today? What was the worst thing? You know what I mean? So, and they were having a conversation with their mother. You see how I did it?
Yeah.
They were having a conversation. Yeah. It's age.
Yeah,
I like it.
So fair.
I can't wait to even get to that stage where I go, hi!
Hey!
Yeah. Randomly in the house. And wherever they are, they must just go, whoa, what's going on? They say I listen.
Oh.
Yeah.
And that you do. I think you just, it's not about the father thing.
Yeah.
I think as a person, Shem Kagiso, you do listen.
I listen.
You used to listen to me.
Yeah.
When I was pregnant on set.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was not okay.
And when you were, and the nicest thing was that truth will always come out of my mouth. And it doesn't necessarily be everyone's truth, could be my truth.
Yeah.
And I'm also open to apologize about it.
Yeah.
You know, if you're gonna come and you complain, don't expect me to be on your side. You know, I think that's what they know. I'm saying my frustrations so that he can show me the other person's perspective. Because the one thing that I drive into my kids is botu, humility. Know the other person.
Yeah.
When you get to Checkers, Dumedis.
Yeah.
That guy who's a security guy, you could get so much information from him and so much knowledge that you think you're going to find it from the CEO. So, yeah, my kids will remember,
you always listen.
Yeah, I listen.
And then, obviously, with being a husband, what do you think is and I'm not going to say because marriages are per people, you know, I'm not going to say advise them and tell them what to do, but why do you think your marriage is still standing? What do you think is working for you guys? Because you are aware people are breaking up every second day.
Yeah.
And what do you think, Luna? What are you guys doing right? If there's such a thing.
We are brutally honest with each other. Like, so my wife and I have what we call GMs. You know, it's a proper general meeting. We book at a hotel that's not far from home, literally like 20 minutes away, because we know if anything happens, then we can rush back home. And we talk. You know, we literally talk. And we are not allowed to be angry at each other. We just need to be honest with each other. And how it started off as with major issues, you know, major issues. But it even got to the smallest things like breath. Because we don't discuss things. You know what I mean? And that's why I carry all these conversations. I mean, I don't want to really get into the conversations that we've had, but it really does help. Brutal honesty. Brutal honesty where you even say, I mean, you're snoring. How does it affect me? And then I wake up in the morning and I'm grumpy and I'm tired. I'm a light sleeper. You're not a light sleeper. It helps us not to keep grudges as well. You know, talking about even intimacy. You know, do I still do it for you? You're trying to build. Do I still do it for you? Do I not? Having to understand, why is it that you know what I think? And one can take that rejection
and think it's their fault.
Yeah.
You know, because I've once spoken to this lady and she was telling me that sometimes when a woman is on contraceptives, for example, we don't read the side effects of contraceptives.
Yeah.
And let's say, for example, every time you touch me,
Yeah.
kuba manzi
Zaduma.
panzi fast.
Yeah.
But when I'm contraceptive, when I'm contraceptive,
You
when
are contracepting.
when
You are contracepting.
you are contracepting.
Yeah.
When some women are on their contraceptive,
Yeah.
their libido goes down. And now you're going to start making it about you, thinking, oh my God, what if she's cheating? Kanti,
Nothing.
It's it's the pill she's on,
Yeah.
or the injection she's on.
Yeah.
And when sometimes we don't even know these things.
Yeah.
So I guess, like you're saying, once we know these things, when we talk about it, well, okay, cool. Should we be on contraceptives? If not, what are other options out there?
Yeah.
For
Exactly. Funny you say that, and that's like when you don't have brutal honesty.
yeah.
I remember when I was still doing road shows, talking about men's issues, and this man said, "Hey, I'm struggling. I can't get it up." And lucky enough, because we used to travel with mobile clinics and all of that, went into the clinic, and sugar level is up. Oh,
Makes
it's just
sense.
sugar.
Yeah, as your
Sugar
wife,
dum,
I'm gonna be like,
dum.
maybe I'm now gonna start being insecure or
Exactly.
or maybe
Yeah. And that's what he was saying, Khori. He's having clashes with the wife.
of course.
Took it to the extra mile. It was so amazing to have this man send us a video of him and his wife.
Having
No, not amateur. Sending a video and saying thank you so much for just
it saved his marriage.
it saved his marriage.
Yeah.
So if you don't brutally have these conversations,
Yeah.
and it's nicer to discuss things when there's no issue.
Yeah.
Yeah, have a conversation about it. Why is it that it's not happening, or why is it that ofela pelo matsatsi a? Sometimes it doesn't even need for you to go into a GM. You know your person. You can see when they're snapping. It's okay to say, "Hey man, look at why the way you spoke to the kid, man." Are you okay? Before the kid is a kid. They'll will get over it. But I want to know when I ushap. No, I'm tired. I haven't been sleeping. Okay, then that's fine. So, how can I make it easier for you? Maybe when you come from work, take the kid for okay, fantastic. Then let me do that. You just had a simple conversation. Do you know what I mean? But also have that thing where you say, I've been doing this because I thought that I was trying to offload the load going.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Is it working?
Or not?
Yeah, because I've just been doing it out of me. And then they can go, oh my goodness. Actually, I haven't been noticing that by you doing that, you've actually taken so much load, because I'm in the midst of breastfeeding and sleepless nights and all of that and all of that. So communication's key.
Yeah. Kagiso, advisable father. Not before that, but like, please advise the dads out there, especially those who are not showing up for their kids. Because the ones who are like you, they don't need advice.
How about you advise them and say?
No.
That's the problem. We are trying to keep advising and advising. You had it. You did the thing and there was a baby.
Yeah.
Why are you not there? No. This is the strict father that comes out of me. Why are you not doing it?
What do drugs?
Ubatla nna. Kilo advisor. Kanto editseng kwena. No, just do what you gotta do. Go there, right? That's the true feeling inside, right? And then here's the advice for TV.
Yeah.
Do you see? Do you see how I feel about it? There's a difference. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, like what you're saying now. There's a huge difference. Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
I see it.
So there's the advice. Yeah. How I really feel inside. You know what you need to do. That's the advice. The other advice for TV is you gotta decide what kind of a song you want to be. You want to be the kind of song that your kids are going to just forget? Or do you want to be the kind of song that your kids will talk about for the next 30, 40 years, 50 years to come? Do you want to be that kind of song that your children would want to tell their children, and their children would want to tell their children about this great grandfather that we once had? You make the choice. It's a choice. Do you want to be the kind of song that people are talking about as when are you an abuser? You did not pay for papgeld. You were not there at the sports event. You were not. Or do you want your kids to actually say, I remember this moment when we won the championship. My dad was there. And, the best moment I've had with my father, I mean, there's many. But after I got married, okay, go kerekeng at the, matrimonial. Yeah, it was great. It was nice. It was, emotional. But the moment when I locked eyes with my dad, Hariako Kasi, I am go gating on the other side. And then I get to me dangy, so, and 100. He never took his, like, that's what I have of my, how he said Pula. Like, even I can just hear my entire family
proud.
going,
Man.
That's why till today my dad is 10 years gone. He's in my films. He's in my everyday. He's in my kids' minds. He's there. That's the kind of song we're talking about. Halala.
Wanna have this song? Wanna
Unali.
Kinalima.
Unali Friday.
Yeah, but it's like you said, like some things you must just let go and learn and also accept and not feel sorry for yourself. So I don't feel sorry for I don't feel sorry for myself. I'm not a victim. He decided what he decided. He did what he did. He left. It is what it is.
Wano Waja Biano
Ubatlang.
That's how I generally feel inside. And then I'll give the answers for television and for podcasts, because again, it's going to go out to everybody.
Of course,
you
and
know
they're
what I mean?
going to take certain clips and then they say, Kagiso said.
But deep down, I'm going, la hafa. Are you drunk? Unilena.
Happy Father's Day.
Thank you.
You are my first.
They better know that on this show.
That you're my first.
Yeah. I doubt there'll be any other guy that was going to come here.
There you have it. Kagiso is my first. And Mommy Diaries. Happy Father's Day, Kagiso.
Thank you very much.
Thanks
Pasi.
for coming.
And happy Father's Day.
To
you too.
No.
To your mom.
No, my thing is, my situation.
Yeah.
I always say I am not a single parent.
No, you're not.
I'm not.
No, you're not.
Because Nelson is hands-on.
Yeah.
I don't even feel like we're not together.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Yeah, he is. So I'm not going to say Happy Father's Day to me. I'm going to say Happy
to your mother.
Oh, to my mother. Hey, Happy Father's Day to my mother.
How?
Happy Father's Day, Susan.
Susan.
Thank you, Kari.
Cheers.
Cheers.